Armstrong Couples Chronicles. We got rid of the car part, so we're going to do it in a nice little setting of the house from now on. Hopefully in the next couple of months. By June, May or June, we'll be doing this from our new house. But this is our current setup now. So, yeah, welcome. We're going to try to do these once a month for sure now. We pretty much put it on our schedule to make sure we do these once a month. A lot of people have been asking for them, so we want to do a lot more this year, along with some other content. My wife is starting her own channel called, the first channel she started is called Walking in Faith. I'm going to be editing that video and posting it on her new channel soon, and we'll get that out to you guys as well. And what are we talking about today?
Oh, well, hello everyone. I thought that you had the topic. There's so many things.
We talked about a few things, but every time I pick a topic, you be like, well, I was thinking this.
Well, I didn't think anything because I was waiting on you to pick something.
I said for us to talk about the incident that happened at the apartments, and you said, well, let's talk about this instead. And I forgot what it was.
Okay, well, I guess we'll be talking about the incident in the apartments, which I have to think which incident, because we've had incidences.
The serial rapist guy.
Oh, gosh.
Remember that?
Yeah, so
I wanted to talk about that.
Okay.
And then you brought up another subject, and then I was like, well, either way, I still want to bring it up, because
okay.
I think it's an important topic, because... And the reason I wanted to bring the topic up is, for us men to make sure that we're present and, we're taking care of our families like we're supposed to, our wives and our kids. And
it's a good segue.
When you're out of place, you're not where you're supposed to be as a husband or as a man. Things could happen because you're not there.
Absolutely. And the first case happened in the beginning of time. Well, not beginning of time. Well, Adam and Eve, right? Adam was not where he should have been.
Adam was chilling.
And so Eve was basically put in the position where she was able to just talk to the serpent. And that, my question goes, where was Adam? But yeah, so that is definitely a good topic. I don't remember that we've talked about so many different things. We have to start writing these things down. But yeah, into that. So we at one point lived in Atlanta, actually about 10 years ago. We've been back more than that. We've lived there 12 years.
2008.
Yeah, so 13 years ago, because our son was 4 months when we moved. So he's now 13. And
tall.
And yes, so that's, they're growing. So with that being said, we moved to Atlanta, and this was like Jeff and I's first time venturing out, just him and I, like no family was there,
Us together, because I moved from Arkansas.
We both moved, but I'm saying as a family together, as a family unit. Him and I have not really ever been apart from one another more than a week. So we're
not that couple.
We're not that couple. There's couples that can be gone. Oh, they're deployed. They're gone. The military family, shout out to you guys. Even, my best friend, her husband's a pilot. He's gone. Lots of couples we know that have spouses that travel quite a bit. I was thinking Elder Brenda travels, like she's gone 300 days out the year here, something like that. So, which is fine, for if they couples, hey, do your thing. What makes things work for us, being apart like that, it just, we would not, it's a no for us.
It's a no for us.
Yeah. I mean, we barely make it a week. Like, we like, oh, okay. Because I'm getting ready to leave for a week next month. And I'm like, I have to get used to. Because I'll be doing it again later on in the year. But we'll talk about that later. But the point of the matter is, so we decided together that we would move to Atlanta. My mom was not happy about that move because I grew up with my grandmother in California, but since my teen years adult life, I was not, I was just with her. And so even Jeff and I, we were always near her. So we did make that leap of faith. Best decision, I feel, for our marriage we really got to learn to be more one, to depend on one another. I mean, Jeff was super independent as it was. He had his own place, his own truck, car, motorcycle, all that stuff. All the things my mom loved that he did outside of course, she loved Jeff, but you know, the fact that he took care of business, and she knew he would take care of me. So she was like, well, you should look at Jeff, you know, he takes care of business. And that is true. But that's not why I liked him. But it was a bonus. But with that being said, we had not ever traveled, you know, outside of that for a long period of time. So we decided, you know, 2007 was a very rough year. Lots of family members passed, and we were just like ready to make that transition. It was a blessing. We got an opportunity to, we really connected with our left center family. They became our family. They weren't just church members, they were our family. And I got to see what it was like to have like people who weren't your blood like that, like your family take care of you, like, and that's a whole nother video we can do as far as community. And we learned community. We really did. But with that being said, there was a lot of things I learned in Atlanta. So much independence. But one of the things is, so we lived in an apartment complex, and it just so happened that the job that I worked here in ADT, they happened to have one right around the corner from us. And so I wound up getting hired on, and I remember them sending an email out to everyone saying, be careful, there's a, you know, serial rapist in the area, you know, just be mindful. And I used to sometimes walk home because I lived around the corner. Although the apartments in Atlanta, they're double the size of the apartments here. Like they've got at least, 300 plus, more than that.
Yeah, we were in the back.
Yeah, and then we were in the very back.
Apartments on the other side, too.
Yeah, I mean, huge. Like at least 40 some odd buildings, at least, full of units. And so, anyway, we lived in an apartment there, and we would see, you know, our neighbors. And there was one particular neighbor we saw all the time. We used to call him Steak and Shake because he'd be walking to Steak and Shake. If y'all don't know about the Steak and Shake.
Well, and he wore that apron too. Like, remember the uniform?
Yeah, I mean, he wore the
a white shirt.
He wore the
apron.
Steak and Shake outfit.
And we would see him walking all the time.
All the time.
Up. He's headed to work or he's headed home from work.
That's what we were like.
He stayed clean. I mean, he had a uniform, nice, prepped. He was a clean. He was a clean brother.
Yeah, clean dude. You know, and he lived actually a couple doors down from us.
I thought he lived in another building.
No, he lived in our building, but just on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Because you know how they had the sides?
Yeah.
And so he lived in our building upstairs, but literally diagonally across from us was his building.
That's right.
His apartment.
That's right.
And so anyway, so we get this email, and then there had been quite a few women jogging, and they had been assaulted by the serial rapist, and you know, and
it was on the news like every day.
It was on the news, and I got the emails from work, so it was just kind of a crazy time. And then, so one particular night, Jeff and I it was late, and I don't even know why.
It's 11 o'clock. And
I don't even know why. I'm normally not up past 9. I happened to be up. I don't know what we were doing. Maybe watching TV.
I was still a night owl back then.
Yeah.
So I stayed up.
Very much so.
Because I'd fall asleep on the couch.
And maybe that was our alone time since we had babies.
Yeah,
you know.
We had Zeph and Jeffrey was little.
He was, so we had like a 2, because Willow wasn't on the scene yet, so we had like a 2 and 1 year old
No, he wasn't even 1 yet.
No, he wasn't even 1. But either way, we had babies. So we were chilling on the couch. We get this knock at the door at 11 o'clock at night, and my husband looks at me, and he immediately gets up. Like, it was not even a question whether I was gonna get up. Not that I would get up. Let me tell y'all something. I don't answer doors. I don't do nothing. I don't care if it's the daytime. if you did not call before you come to my house,
call before you come.
I'm not answering no door. You better text. You better do something. Even my mom knows to text because I don't. It's from being a latchkey kid. So I was told, don't you answer the door. Don't answer the door for no one. I don't care if you know them. So yeah, so I still have that, that mind frame. So anyway, he gets and answers the door. And it is Steak and Shake. We call him Steak and Shake. We don't even really know the dude's name.
No, yeah.
And he's like, I guess, what did he ask you?
He was like, hey man, he was all like, just like how I'm talking. He's like, hey man, I locked myself out my apartment and I need to call to get a locksmith. Can you help me out with a couple dollars or something like that to pay the locksmith or something to get his door unlocked?
And we didn't have no, listen, we were young parents.
Man,
just moved.
Broke.
We didn't have no money.
I gave him some change.
We literally gave him our last $2 because we didn't have money, okay?
We were super broke back
So
then.
he was like, look, I have $2. He gave him $2, sent him on his way.
And didn't think nothing about it.
Didn't think nothing about it. It was like, well, that was kind of, people get locked out. So then you have to say how whatever the next...
So it was a few days later, on the news, they showed that they caught the guy who was the serial rapist, and they showed his picture, and it was Steak and Shake.
It was Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy. You told me you did call the police and told them, like, hey, this dude came to my house. And, and he was, they were like, well, we caught the guy. But,
But also what I realized after that was I started thinking about how that whole thing transpired because he was known to follow people home and stuff like that. So I know he had probably saw my wife, probably didn't see me or whatever, so came knocking on the door. But after they arrested him, I was thinking about the altercation that we had, or the interaction we had with him is there's no way to lock yourself out of those apartments. You have to use a key on the outside to actually lock the door.
Right. Yeah.
So there's no way he could have locked himself
There's
out.
no way he could have, there's no way unless he completely lost his key or something.
Yeah.
But we figured it out. Like that dude was like, he didn't say that. He said he was locked out. He didn't say nothing about he lost his key. But the point of the matter is my husband was super in tune, to know, he was caught as a serial rapist on TV. Like the fact that you even saw that, because I never did see it.
Yeah,
he called me at work, and I remember telling my coworker, y'all, like, for real, like, and I told him about Steak and Shake, and and it was just mind blowing. And then the other part about that is my mom used to she used to listen to Tom Joyner morning show.
Yep.
For the news in Atlanta, specifically to see, she swore every news thing had something to do with me.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful. Like, I actually did not tell her about that incident until we moved back. But the crazy thing is, it's like you have to have an awareness. I will say, I don't remember maybe one time the dude in passing. I was so caught up with, and I'm aware of my surroundings. Let me just put that. When I'm with my kids or it's me, when I'm with him, I will admit I tend to be a little lax, because he's super, like, the military, like, I call him Agent Orange, because that's another inside joke. Those of you who knows Trading Places will know about Agent Orange. Because of his military experience, like, he's super, alert and aware, and hyper vigilant at times maybe, but that's in a good way. Cause he'll tell you, oh, there's the Ford Explorer and make and model and what year and all of that body style. If there's a car, there's a car too that's been following, he knows stuff like that. I'm aware, but not like that. So anyway, I had the babies, and so I maybe seen him in passing and nothing odd struck to me. I will say too, he wasn't what you would have thought a serial rapist would be. Yeah. He was clean cut. He had a job that he went to faithfully. He was always at the same time. We see him back and forth consistent. Nothing out of the ordinary stuck out. But the fact of the matter is, I'm grateful for his awareness, and that's the thing. We have to be aware, because there's been times too we as women we're aware. We're like, I see homegirl over there doing the most news. I used to bring it to his attention, but as we've been together longer and longer, it doesn't. I'm aware, but I don't really say anything unless, I feel like it's gonna get to inappropriate, and I do trust that he'll handle it first. Like, I don't want to be that wife. I used to be. I will say I've come a long way, but I don't want to be that person, because then also too, I try to be an example at all times, and even if someone is not on I'm trying to think of a nice way to put it, if they're not secure in themselves to not holler at a married man or try to attract a married man, I feel bad for the woman more than, oh yeah, let me show her. I'm secure in what we have. I'm secure in our situation, our marriage. I don't like to call it situation, because some people got situationships, and that's not us. But
and nobody's ever approached me anyway. Anyways, we'll move on.
While I was around. but see, this is the thing. That's my point, is they have, but they're slick with it to where they make it seem like, oh, I just happen to be shoveling my walkway the same time as you every time. Okay. Yeah. But it's all good. Like, I already know. Hubby will shut it down, and same goes for me. We are attractive people. It's going to happen. It does happen. But it's all in how and that comes down to it. There has to be a security, which is a whole nother conversation, a whole nother video we'll do. But for right now, in order for, there to be a protection or feel like you're protected, first of all, I feel comfortable in knowing that he will protect us. And women, we want to feel secure and protected. And so men, that is one of the things that women, we do like security. We like security and feeling protected, and also security and feeling financially protected, emotionally, knowing that, you'll say things to uplift us and not tear us down, or allow anybody else to tear us down. My husband won't even let me talk about me, okay? I had to change my language and the things I said negatively, and you know how we can say things, I don't know, like I remember one of the things I've said quite a bit is I'd be like, oh, my hair is all, at least my hair, because especially after I blow dry it and we got, a lot going on, a lot of volume going, I would say things like, oh, I gotta get this hair so I can look normal. And that's not, no matter what style of hair you are rocking, it's normal. Matter of fact, I had an issue at work behind somebody saying my hair was back to normal because it was straight. It's always normal, whether it's curly, straight, just wash, or even if I woke up and it's all over my head, it's still normal because it's mine. It's my normal. How about that? But the point of the matter is, he won't let me be negative, so let alone anybody, nobody can come to him. If you come to Jeff saying your wife, it better be followed with a nice compliment or something constructive criticism to where it's painted very nicely, because he's not going to have it. Same with me. There have been times I have cut friendships because somebody said you and your husband are narrow-minded. I'm sorry. What you're not going to do, and the thing is I won't even let you talk bad about me, but you're really not going to talk bad about my husband or my kids. It's that protection. I remember Pastor Burleson said that you will not say nothing about Dallas without there being a trail of blood between me and you. And he's such
His wife's name is Dallas.
Yes,
so y'all know.
And he's such a docile, soul, but we know when he said that, he meant it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, like we're just mainly the things about awareness and protection, and not just for your wife, but for your kids too. Like, we're very protective of our kids. We're protective of each other.
Yes.
That's just how we are.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids and a lot of wives and husbands kind of miss out, because even my wife is protective of me as well. And I think that being protective is a very important trait of any relationship, any family. It goes a long way. The kids know that their dad is there to protect them, their mom is there to protect them, and I also teach them to protect each other, because they all go to school together, and to watch out for each other. And then for when, like Zeph, she's in her own school now by herself, to be protective of herself and be observant. Again, I think that because there's so much going on in this world, we got to be protective, honestly.
Yeah, and even for that matter, we do know and trust in the Lord, that He's got them covered and protected, and even knowing that we're not, able to be everywhere, right? But we want our values. We want not only just our values, God's values that He's instilled in us to instill in them, to be with them at all times, even when we're not. I had a conversation with my daughter about, protect our youngest, about protecting yourself against vicious words. Like, do not put up with poor behavior, being bullied. That is not behavior that you have to put up with. There are, there's a way of handling these things, and not just carrying it and not just putting up with it. Because I noticed that her brother did tell me, that, and the same with the older, the twins at the school.
I don't know them.
Okay. But the point of the matter is there's some twins at the school that have said some mean things to my oldest daughter and to the youngest. And
it's a good thing I don't know them.
Yeah, I've already talked with them before at the school in front of the teachers, and I don't think they want me to have another conversation. But I usually like to let the kids handle it, but when I hear a name too many times, and that's another thing, we got to be in tune to our children. Mm-hmm. Because if they say Jimmy one too many times, I've heard the name too many times, then I'm intervening. Because then at that point, first time I hear it, I'm saying I'm leaving it up to you to handle, okay? Then I hear it again. Even if I hear them talking to one another, I've heard Jimmy's name now twice. So then we're going to have a conversation, and now we're about to have a conversation with the teacher. And if I hear for a third time, then Jimmy's parents, you, and other teacher, and the principal, we all having a conversation. Okay, I like to use the Matthew 18 approach. When you have an out with your brother, if there's conflict, when there's conflict, let that person go to that person. Then bring a witness, then bring the church. So I use that everywhere, whether it's work, whether it's school. I use that as a means. And so definitely be in tune to your children. And COVID has really forced that. Like, we're all in the house. I would say we were really pretty good even before COVID, and we were crazy busy to and fro. But even now that we're all in the house, we're especially our devotions. That's a good time that we sit down and talk with the kids. Find out what's going on with them. They're this, a lot of kids, our kids, and into this, the electronics. But find out who they're talking to. Find out what, it's just good to talk. That's a whole nother thing. Like, that includes internet protection. If you got to put up blocks, permissions, you got to do it, because folks are out there that are looking for us to let our guard down. So we have to be super vigilant.
Yeah.
So pretty much, just make sure that's part of being protected, is being in tune and aware.
Yeah.
That, back to the Adam and Eve example, I just think about if Adam was there with Eve and in tune and saw the serpent coming, mm-hmm. and know that he was given the instruction on not to eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I'm very in tune. I pay attention to things that are going on all the time in our surroundings. Sometimes my wife don't see it, the kids don't see it. I'll tell them about it later. But everywhere I go, even when I'm by myself and I'm driving, wherever I'm at, I'm always in tune with what's going on around me. And again, I don't overdo it. I just
Yeah,
pay
it's not a
attention.
fear,
Some things
it's
I don't bring up.
awareness.
I don't bring up everything. I just
Yeah.
pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And if it needs something needs to be discussed, then I'll discuss it. But I pay attention. And my wife would tell you, I used to get on to her because she would be like, this is early in our relationship. I'd go like to go meet her, surprise her or something, and I see her just walking out and she's just on the phone, not paying no attention, and just. I'm like, hey, you can't do that.
Right.
Like, somebody's watching you not paying attention. As soon as you get ready to get in your car, they're going to hit you upside your head because you're not paying attention and
Yeah.
you didn't get your stuff. I mean, and it might sound like over the top, but it's true. I mean, people are getting, this was like when we first got together.
Yeah.
I talked to her about that. So that was over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And women are getting snatched up like nobody's business now, you know?
And so the thing is, to that point, like, and around that same time, there was a woman who was assaulted at the Royal Mall who was on her phone not paying attention. And he was like, see, this is what I'm saying. So then after that, girl, I'm going to call you back. Even today, girl, I'm at the store. I'm going to have to call you back. Especially right now with COVID, like I have my purse. There have been incidences where, and I'm not even one of those over the top, but I have noticed, you know, especially right now, there are people that are walking around the store and they're not looking at items and they're not going in with a purpose. Oh, well, they're going in with a purpose, but they're going in to see if your purse is unattended. I used to leave my purse in the basket. Not anymore. I be having that sucker right here and pushing the basket right along with me because
She actually left her purse in the basket. In Walmart. Walmart on Hamden.
Yep.
She left it in there.
And it came back to me.
And it came back to her because...
with everything in it.
Because her sister... Somebody knew her sister.
The girl... This is what's crazy. The girl who found the purse was trying to find me on Facebook. I have the super box, so she couldn't find me on Instagram, Facebook, nothing. So she was trying to locate me. Then, but ironically, my son was working with the girl. She didn't know that, but that's another story. But anyway, so I happened to like one of my sister's photos, and she was like, hey, that girl's name, I found her purse, and I've been trying to, and so my sister reaches out to me and was like, hey, I guess you left your purse at Walmart? And I was like, and at this time, this is like months later. And I got everything.
Was it months? I thought it was weeks.
It was months. It was a
Really?
couple months because that happened like May-ish or something like that. And I didn't get it back till like the end of the summer.
But then you were saying that you didn't even have no idea you left it there though, right?
Right. Because I was not paying attention, loading groceries, and I wasn't on the phone. I was actually talking through my car thing. But again, when you're distracted and you got so much going on, and then at that time, I was rushing to get to one place to another, hurry and get these groceries, and I left my purse, actually pushed my purse in the buggy into the where the cars are returned. So it's just amazing that it came back. Like that's a won't he do it? Yes, he will kind of moment. But yeah.
And then you was walking around in Walmart and you kept seeing this same couple around you while your purse was in the cart, and then you paid attention to them, and then you put your purse on, and then you didn't see them no more.
That was at Sam's over here on Stapleton. Yeah, because I ran in to get my son.
Not Stapleton no more.
Sorry.
Central Park.
Central Park, excuse me.
I think that's what they call it now.
I don't know. But, you know, y'all know what I mean. Oh, airport, you know. Okay, so, yeah, I noticed, and again, when people are not paying attention, like they're paying way too much attention to me and not to food. Like you're there to shop. Like why are you paying it? Like okay, a look. Or okay, like maybe if my hair's sticking up. But if none of that is happening, and it was really strange because I was like, why are they seeming to be in the same house? So I finally get my purse and I look, and then all of a sudden they're looking at stuff. And that has happened to me a couple of times. I noticed when I had my purse in the buggy at Walmart, and you had me go at 7 o'clock in the morning to get some Lysol, which we wound up not getting. So two guys who were looking at the baby section. First of all, I'm sorry. and I'm not trying to be stereotyped, but that's very odd. Especially they were African descent. I've never seen African dudes look for baby clothes. I've just never seen it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's a very odd situation. And considering the heightened awareness, I was like, no. And they could have been innocently. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: regardless if they were or not, I wasn't gonna be there to figure it out. So I got my stuff and left.
Yeah, I pay attention. I know. And I pay attention to all types of stuff all the time. Like I was telling my wife, like for some reason, I every time I leave, well, not every time, but a few times I've left the King Supers over here in the Walmart, I've witnessed people stealing, walking out of the store.
Yes.
Like there was this lady who just almost ran me over in the vegetable aisle, and then I watched her just go right out the door with them groceries, ain't bagged up nothing, and then as I didn't have much, so I went and checked out, and I seen her over just loading her stuff in the back of a pickup truck and getting the heck up out of there.
She had a getaway car and everything.
Then, no, not that one. This was,
oh, God.
I was talking about the grocery lady at King Supers, but at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
At Walmart, I'm walking around, and there's this girl and this guy, and the girl, like, automatically, she drew attention to herself because she didn't have a mask on. Her mask was down here. And everybody else in the store got their mask on, and she was like, as tall as me, so she's a girl, she's tall as me, so you try to get attention drawn to you because you're tall, but you ain't got your mask on either.
This is not ghetto. Having your mask down here like this, that's not wearing your mask, people.
They just looked suspicious.
Right.
Real. So I go out about my shopping, and I end up going out the farthest. There's two entrances in Walmart. I go out one entrance, and as I'm going out that entrance, I see her come out, and she's not with that dude she was with earlier, but she's walking fast. She has a cart, and she's pushing that cart. She got a big old rug in the cart. I don't know what else she got. And then the dude comes out. He's yelling at her like, "Hey, stop her! She didn't pay." And she's pushing that cart, and she's already halfway across the parking lot, and she's going through cars. Like she's not even going down the lane. She's going through cars. And then I see her get in a silver Jeep Patriot.
Getaway car.
Yep, getaway car. She jumps in the silver Jeep Patriot, throws the stuff in there. They had one of them orange stickers on the window when you park somewhere you ain't supposed to be parked.
See how it tuned? Orange sticker.
They had the orange sticker, and they didn't scrape it off all the way, and they drove off. And then I was like, I'm sitting here loading up my car, looking at this going on, like, again. And then when they went out a certain way, and then as I was leaving, the guy she was with, I saw he was in a black Impala in the passenger seat, and they came flying by me looking around too. So they went to the store. It was about 6 or 7 of them. They went in there to steal some stuff at Walmart.
Yeah, and
I just see, for some reason, I just pay attention to, I actually pay attention to everybody that I cross paths with when I'm in Walmart, when I'm moving around. I just pay attention to people because if something happens, I can remember who did it, And also, I'm always got my concealed carry with me too. So
then there's that.
Sure I always got mine. Even when she's talking about somebody knocking on the door, I got mine on me in the house.
Yes, he does.
I don't have it on right now because we're about to go to bed soon, but it's easy access. I can get to it.
And to that point, as far as you being aware, because I told him, I said, everybody needs a nosy neighbor. I've always heard this, like whenever you move to a neighborhood, you need that nosy neighbor. And I told him, I said, you gonna be the nosy neighbor. Because you can tell the car, the make, the model, what the dude have on, whatever, But like he said, like we pay attention to those things. Like I remember we were driving down Havana, just driving down. And I look out the window. He's always said that of me. Like I'll be looking around. I just,
The kids do that too.
We just be looking around, and I happen to look. And this dude comes running out of a photography store.
That was on Havana. Did you say Monaco or Havana?
Havana.
Yeah, Havana.
Comes running out. And I was like, and he wasn't running like, it's raining, let me hurry to get to my car. He was like running for his life, running like.
You just stole something.
And that again, it's not normal. We were in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
And we go to, supposed to be the best fried chicken in the country. That's a whole nother conversation. It was not, but it was pretty good. It wasn't the best. But we go, and the neighborhood is very...
it was in the hood. It was in the hood. Everywhere else, we were like in regular, downtown.
Right,
area.
yeah.
But this spot was in the
Straight
hood.
up the hood. So...
And we didn't have a car. We didn't drive a car that year.
No, well,
because everything was close. We didn't need a car, so we caught a cab.
Yeah, people tell us that when you go to New Orleans, catch a cab. Like, don't even pay for the parking, packing the cab. Don't do that, you know. That's an inside joke. Don't worry about, you know, paying for, because you can't really park anywhere anyway, honey. But the places that we were going to, it's better on foot. So we caught a cab, and we caught the same guy. We're just like, hey, come back and get us. And so we're waiting on him, and we're standing outside, and this dude comes.
Booking.
I'm talking about like Usain Bolt past us, okay? And
there was some other people standing outside. We all looked like.
And I looked at him and I said, this is not the neighborhood folks go jogging. So we need to go ahead, head back on. Listen.
2 seconds later.
Boop, 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 and they had the entire block blocked off. Like.
Yeah, they were for blocks. Police.
I mean, cops, plural. And so it was like.
And then right after that, our cab came and we left.
We got out of there. But see, that's the point. Like, you know, like we, you know, especially when we travel, we're super. I could tell you story upon story. We'd be here all night of things that I noticed, and I'm sure that he would notice, and I'd be like, yeah, you said, yeah, you already see them. like, you know, being in tune, like, you have to, and even if you're watching this and you're single, you know, don't go alone if you can. Go with friends, especially if you're traveling. I don't even know how people can travel alone. I mean, some people do it, but
protection on
have something.
Get you some non-lethal protection. Holler at Craig.
And yes, shout out. And make sure you people know where you are. That's another thing. Like when I was working a job that I had to go door to door, and interview people and neighbors, and I was in and out of neighborhoods. You was
everywhere.
I was everywhere. And my husband, that's when he invested in the Life 360. Now I want to put this disclaimer, okay? He is not stalking. I am not insecure. I don't feel like he's got to, oh God, you know, that's a whole different scenario. I'm talking about awareness. Mm-hmm. And he is aware, like, heaven forbid, because I would go in people's houses that I did not know and talk to them about stuff, you know, when I did my government work. And, and yeah, I mean, I remember, and I wasn't allowed to carry a gun because of, you know, being a representative of the federal government. So I could not carry a gun. I did have mace, but I couldn't carry a gun. So I just, you know, he got the Life 360. It came in handy for the many times I lost my phone, you know.
Left it at Old Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, License 360 app is dope because I have that for us and the kids.
Yeah.
Had to use it with the kids before too.
Yes, especially our daughter. So
just one time.
Yeah, but
she knows better now.
She knows that we know where you at all times.
But it's also important, like when my wife says she's going somewhere, you know, and she's gonna, because you know, especially with COVID, we don't go a whole lot of places. But even before then, like if she's gonna go somewhere, then I know where she's going, and then I'll text her, and she don't respond. I need to make sure I know. Oh, she's just there still talking. She ain't looked at her phone. Not that she was driving somewhere and all of a sudden she's not answering her text or whatever. You know, just making sure that she's okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get better at answering my phone. I just listen, one thing at a time.
Your kids got it honest.
Yes, yeah, and I got on my son. I was like, son, you need to have to answer, and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to answer the phone too. So yeah, but that was the main thing. Just be, you know, of your loved ones, the people in your life. Be, you know, have an awareness, be protective of them, not having a fearful, you know, not saying you have to be out here fearfully insecure. You know, there has to be a level of trust, obviously, but also, you know, just be smart and aware and don't let your guard completely down. Even we have signs all over that say, don't leave valuables in the car, you know, because theft is up, all kinds of stuff. I don't leave valuables.
Well, I'm just talking, you have, and you I have to remind you a lot to put your.
Oh, I like that sucker.
No, I'm just saying, but it's not stuff that you haven't done. I'm like, don't leave nothing out.
Yeah.
Make sure you put your club on your.
I put my club. I even put my wires, and except for when the kids pull it out, but I be put my wires, everything, because I had my aunt. Her window was busted behind 4 quarters, and that had to come out of her pocket because she's like, listen, I ain't got no. She had a $500 deductible. It cost like $200-300 to replace that one window. Behind 4 quarters.
Yeah, hide your valuable.
That is a valuable.
Go get you a club for real.
Yeah.
Put a club on your car. The thing is, if people see some type of security on your car, they'll pass yours up and go to somebody else's.
I took a course on how to not be a victim, and there's 3 things that that they say that are elements to make a crime happen, and if you remove one of the elements, crime won't happen. They've said that in proven studies, and I can't tell you all 3, but I know one of them, and they say it was like this, and they said you remove it, crime can't happen. So one of them was to make sure and not give an opportunity for the theft to happen. So don't leave doors unlocked, don't windows down. Lock your car. Definitely lock your car. And the more protections you put on that, they're not gonna. They don't want to spend the time to do that. To mess with that. They'd rather go to somebody who's vulnerable. Where how many times it has happened to us where you forget to lock your car door. And they wait for that, and they're in my mom's neighborhood, God bless her, there have been a couple of incidences.
Going through your car? They went through Jerome's?
Yes.
Don't you remember when you had that Oldsmobile? No, that Buick Skylark, and you lived in apartments?
Yeah.
They went through there?
Yeah.
And in Atlanta, my Mustang door didn't lock, and you couldn't lock that door.
Yeah.
And somebody went in but I never left anything in there. But they went in there and they took everything out the glove compartment.
Yeah.
And then I had some change in there. They took some of the change, but then I went in and I rigged the door so you couldn't open it at all after that. And
my pack of Trident gum was stolen. My $1. I spent $1 on Trident gum. Original blue pack was brand new. It was stolen. So, but my point is like, they're like, well, since there's nothing in here, we're going to take this gum, really. But the thing of it is,
don't give them the opportunity.
Don't give them the opportunity. And that, they said, even includes making sure your locks are secure at the house. Because these folks, they pull on stuff to see if you're vulnerable.
They'll walk down the street and pull a handle on every single car door until they get one, and they'll go inside it. And
don't leave your garage door in your...
don't leave your garage door opener in your car outside of the house.
Outside of the house, because they...
Hey, and also, don't hang your keys on a lock. Don't hang all your keys on something in the garage, or as soon as you open the garage door, all your keys are right there. Put your keys in your bedroom.
Yeah, and I can't even halfway find my keys, so...
Well, it's not how finding your keys, it's finding your purse. The keys is in the purse. The purse is what you can't ever find. It's in there somewhere.
But it's never by the door. But anyway, so just protect yourself. And that was our session for, just make sure you guys protect yourself.
That's today's theme, is protection. So that's the name of this one.
Protect each other, protect yourself, protect one another, and be aware.
Cool. Well, we will do this one again. We will do this again next month. So we will do, every month we will do a session for you guys. Again, if you have some subjects you want to talk about, comment either on Facebook or on the YouTube video. Or whatever. Or just let us know.
Yeah, let us know about your thoughts. Even if there's topics you guys want us to talk about, we'll definitely do that. We're always open.
Cool. Well, I think we're done.
All right.
Well, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.